not leave them out too long. They went across the room. Made it. Favorite. Welcome back. We are making Crockpot recipes today, and I'm going to be making 4 different recipes. This first one is a honey lime chicken recipe, and I'm super excited about these. I haven't made any of them before, and so we are trying all of these new. I'm doing half batches because I want to try all of them at once, and I'm going to use my 3 Crockpot minis. And so I'm going to put only half of the amount in them because otherwise I'll be overflowing them. So I'm going to put in 1 chicken breast and then a 1/4 cup of honey, some salt, pepper, garlic powder, a little bit of chicken stock, but I'm going to use bouillon and water, and then some lime juice. Now, if you have fresh limes, of course, you would want to use fresh limes, but I rarely have fresh, any type of citrus. Anyways, welcome back. My name is Carrie, and this is Keep It Simple DIY. And I'm very excited to be in the kitchen with you today. I have loved these Crockpot recipes. I recently did a video on Crockpot quick breads, and those turned out fantastic. So I'm super excited about this one as well. And hopefully these will give me some good ideas for just doing freezer meals and putting things in a bag and then being able to throw it in a Crockpot. Yesterday I cooked up the, what was that? Balsamic chicken that we did in our last freezer meals video. Crockpot. It wasn't a Crockpot video. It was definitely just freezer meals. And I was super impressed. I need to rinse my fingers off. This honey's getting everywhere. So that was the first time that I had actually done a Crockpot freezer meal. I usually do like casserole style freezer meals. And so that was really interesting and I really liked it. And now trying out more Crockpot chicken recipes so that we can add to our repertoire. So this is super quick and simple, and everything that I needed to put in here is now in here. So I'm going to get this back in its liner, and then we'll be going on the next one. This next recipe doesn't actually have a name, but it's definitely more on the Asian side of things. And it calls to sear the chicken before putting it in, and I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to. But I am wondering, do any of you guys have the Ninja Crockpot that can sear it, go in the oven, can do all the things? Because I'm really interested in that. I don't have it currently, which is part of why I'm not searing it. So this recipe I'm also going to cut in half because that's how much will fit in here. And I'm just testing it out. And so, let's see, I'm going to add some salt and pepper. And then I'm going to add some crushed garlic and then minced ginger, and those are frozen just from the store. You can buy them and freeze them yourself into like little pucks, but I just bought them from the store and that has worked out really well for me. Aside from if I leave them out for too long. So don't leave them out for too long. That never goes well. Okay, now since I know I need to not leave them out too long, they went across the room. Okay, I washed off the ginger, so we're good. I'm going to put these back in the freezer because I've made that mistake before. Next up, I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of honey. I should have done that last because now it's going to be all over my finger. We're going to add about a 1/4 cup of ketchup. And I'm eyeballing. I'm not measuring anything because then I have to clean stuff and I don't want to do that. I'm not using soy sauce. I'm using cocoa aminos. About a 1/4 cup. And then it calls for a tablespoon of sriracha, which to me means a half a tablespoon because I'm not too good at handling this stuff. That was probably more than a half tablespoon. That's it for this one. Super quick and easy. This one's going in as well. Next up is a Tuscan chicken recipe. I'm super excited about this one. I'm hoping it turns out really good. Once again, I'm cutting this down significantly to fit it in this pot and because I'm just testing it out for the first time. So I just put a whole chicken breast in there. And these chicken breasts, I believe, are butterflied. Maybe, maybe not. I'm going to throw in heavy cream now. Am I going to regret that? I am not quite sure exactly when this is supposed to go in, but I figure now is as good of a time as any because it's frozen. So let's see. And this is half a cup. So I portioned out heavy cream when I got it, and I froze it just because you can't go through a whole thing at once. Now this recipe calls to add Parmesan cheese, and Parmesan cheese does not like me. I like it, but it has told me many times that it doesn't like me, so we're going to leave that out. I'm adding a little bit of water with some chicken seasoning. Chicken seasoning, that's what it says on here. It's bouillon. I just reused that label because it was the one that made the most sense because there wasn't a bouillon option. So we're gonna see how this goes without it. I might add mozzarella to it, I might not. And then I am going to wait on adding the spinach until we're a couple hours in, maybe even right at the end. And so right now I'm just adding some salt, pepper, onion powder, and Italian seasonings, and then we will add in the best part. So the best part is these sun-dried tomatoes, which are delicious and I love them. However, I find that I have a hard time using them up. So we're gonna use some up today. I am just going to throw them in whole because I don't want to cut them. I can cut them when I'm shredding the chicken. I think I'm gonna add 4 because that's only 1 piece of chicken. That one is done just as quickly as the others into the, into the crock pot it goes. Oh, and you know what? I didn't forget. I thought I forgot to turn the second one on like I did with the quick breads, but I didn't. The second one is turned on. So now these are all going. I have one more recipe that I want to try. It's a curry recipe, so let's give that one a try. It's also beef. Last but not least, okay, the curry beef, we just talked about it. I am going to only do a half recipe, even though I'm using my big crock pot for this. Milo, can you down please? I love you. Last but not least, I'm also going to do a half recipe here, even though I have the big crock pot out, because this one is a curry beef, and I'm not sure if I'm going to like it. That's the second time I filmed that part, and Milo. Down. Last but not least, oh my gosh, Milo. I love you, but please stay out of the video for a minute. You gonna stay out of it? All right, last but not least, and I'm only doing half a recipe of the beef curry. Milo. Dude. Can you not? I love you, but I'm cooking, okay? Can we do the cooking? Last but not least, and I'm doing a half recipe of this one just like the others, even though I'm using, oh my gosh, Milo. Oh gosh, okay. Stay down. I don't know if you believe this, but I have tried to start this crockpot recipe 4 times and the cat's jumped up in every single take. So hopefully this time, nope, there he is. You guys. Milo. Let's see if we can do it without the cat. I'm only using half a recipe because I don't know if I'm gonna like it. So half a recipe is going in. There's the cat again. You know what? He's like, I want this beef. You may not have the beef. Get out of there. There we go. Okay. Are you going to just help me? You guys, don't leave me because I have a cat on the counter. Okay. Garlic and ginger going in. Get out of there. You may not touch that. Oh goodness. Okay, garlic and ginger in. The garlic, I think the garlic thaws out a lot faster than the ginger. This is just some tomatoes. You know, maybe I waited too long. I got this so it would come out. Let me try thawing it a little bit more. In the meantime, the cat's not up here, so I'm gonna hurry up and get as many things in as I can. So we have some salt. Uh-oh, here he comes. Milo. Some cumin. Some garam masala. Some let's see, this one says beef seasoning, but it's actually bouillon, and it says to add, well, I would add water, but I'm going to add those onions. Calls for a diced onion, and I'm just going to use canned onions. Now I'm like trying to hurry before he gets back in the way. Oh, we found a toy. Oh, good. Okay, so I'm putting the liquid in too, because that'll be the water that we need. And then it does call for curry paste, and I didn't read enough to see if it called for a specific kind, but the kind that I have open in my fridge is yellow. So I'm going with yellow. I would assume red was probably the right answer, but to me the right answer is whatever I already have open, so I don't create another thing that I need to use up. Alright, we're back in business. It'll now come out. This is tomato sauce from when I canned tomato sauce. This is what was left. I had it in the freezer, which is why it's frozen. And it doesn't have any spices in it at all. And I did that on purpose because I wanted to be able to use it for anything. So in this case, I'm using it for curry. If it was made like a pasta sauce, then I wouldn't have been able to use it today. So last but not least is ready. We'll see these all again in a couple of hours. Here's what they're all looking like. Here's the honey lime chicken. This is the doesn't have a name Asian chicken. This is the Tuscan chicken. And this is the beef curry. These have all finished cooking. We have the honey lime. We have the didn't have a name but is kind of Asian flavored. We have the sun-dried tomatoes. I did go in and chop the sun-dried tomatoes with scissors. All of these actually I went in there and I either shredded or diced, and I did add the spinach. And then last but not least is the beef curry. So let's give these all a taste test. They cooked for about 3 to 4 hours. I actually think I kind of left them in a little bit too long, but I hadn't checked them in a minute. But I want to give these a taste test. Let me say what I'm thinking is going to happen. I think the beef is going to be my least favorite. It's just, I smelled it and it's not something that I'm digging right now. I think curry is more of like a colder weather type of thing for me. I think, I'm really hopeful for the lime chicken, but I'm not so sure. I think this one's going to be my favorite that didn't have a name but is Asian. And I think this one's going to be good too, which is like the Italian style sun-dried tomato. So let's see. I have 2 forks. These are the forks that I was mixing them around with, and I did not peek. I looked at them, but I didn't take any tastes yet. So let's take a taste now. The amount of liquid in here seems perfect though, mixing it up and letting it soak in. I definitely don't think there's like too much, because you know sometimes with Crockpot meals you get just like way too much. And I don't want like huge pieces because I did eat lunch not too long ago. Okay, let's try this one. Oh, that's really good. I could have backed off the honey though. That was very sweet. And that's chicken breast, and it is not dry at all. I didn't actually touch my mouth to the fork, so I'm gonna use that same fork again. Now this one's a chicken thigh. There we go. Took me a minute to actually stab a piece that wasn't too big. That's good. This one definitely has a little bit of a kick that comes in after. It's good. Part of me was kind of hoping for teriyaki, but I didn't make teriyaki flavor, so of course that's not what it is. They're both really fantastic. I should have done this while hungry, right? Because then I would have been like, amazing! They are amazing. Okay, I'm really excited about this one. And this said to put Parmesan in it, and I bet it would taste really fantastic with Parmesan. But I didn't add any. Favorite. That's definitely my favorite. I would make that again, even without having Parmesan. It'd be so good with Parmesan though. I'm hoping one day Parmesan decides to like me again. I cleaned off my fork, and now we're going in here to the beef. And I'm not too excited about this, but one cool thing was the beef was diced when I put it in here, so I didn't have to come in and shred it or cut it after. I'm just not in the mood for curry right now. So like, am I tainting my idea of this before even trying it? What? Okay, I actually really like that, which I like curry, so of course, but like, that is really good. I think the fresh tomatoes, well, not fresh, but the garden tomatoes, excuse me. I think the garden tomatoes being in that tomato sauce really did this well. And it's not too much on the curry side. Sometimes I can go a little crazy on the garam masala. That was actually more of a mild flavor, but that, like, the tomatoes shined through, I think that's how you say that. That's, okay. So I think if I were to rank these, I actually, okay, this is interesting, this is different. I think I'd go 1 for the sun-dried tomato, 2 for the curry, 3 for the lime, and 4 for the one I thought was gonna be my favorite, just based off of what we always do. It might not be my favorite because we always do something like that. So these are all fantastic, and now I have lunch and dinner for the next few days. I need to cook up some rice because I think all of these go well over rice. This one could go over noodles. Ooh, noodles, and then put a layer of mozzarella. That'd be delicious. Anyways, thanks so much for being here. If you're interested in sticking around, I will add a link to another Crockpot video where we did quick breads right here, and I will put a link to another video right here. So I hope to see you next time. Thanks so much for being here. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.